Well, we've been talking about cryptocurrencies from all angles this morning, haven't we? We talked about it from the product perspective with Michael Sonnenschein. We just talked about it from the trading perspective with Troy Gaske. Now let's talk about the back end, the technology that powers the trading of this various stuff. Bill Capuzzi is with us now, Apex Fintech Solutions CEO. This is a clearing and services firm that, by the way, is going to be going public through a SPAC, a deal that's expected to close in the next couple of months. Bill, it's good to see you. Thanks for joining us this morning. So when you see trading action, when we see action like we saw overnight, what happens on your side of the business from a clearing perspective, from a trading solutions perspective, and how is that different from what we've traditionally seen, for example, in the trading business?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, the first part is you're talking about 24-hour real-time activity, right? So as you guys know, the U.S. market officially opens 9:30. It closes at 4 o'clock. Right, there is obviously the pre-market, the post-market as it relates to equities. Bitcoin, cryptocurrency are trading 24 hours a day. And so, from a plumbing perspective, let's talk about what is Apex. We're a platform, and we power most of the fintech providers that are out there. And as part of that, our job is to make sure things happen frictionless, real time. That things are happening on a scalable basis. And I think this phenomenon related to cryptocurrency, our push is to kind of, promoting this in the industry is that should continue in other asset classes as well. Why are we limited to 9:30 to 4 o'clock as it relates to equities when you have, things like, Bitcoin or Dogecoin trading 24 hours a day?
I'm curious also, when you get the extreme volatility in cryptocurrencies, from a clearing perspective, does that make things more difficult?
It doesn't. Look, to the extent that you build your platform like we built at Apex, that's scalable, right? We can handle multiple times of the highest, market, the highest watermark that we've had. We can handle multiples of that, right? And so you have to be able to handle that scale. And the cool part is it's not just in cryptocurrency. We have activity happening in the options space, the futures space, the equity space, right? And as a platform that we provide to support our customers, like the Webull and the SoFis and Stashes, one of our jobs is to make sure that we can handle that sort of deluge of volume, because oftentimes, as you guys know, it happens. Right, it's not a steady climb. It's usually very volatile up and down in terms of the markets.
Yeah, I mean, Bill, we're looking at some stats here where you guys have trades up almost 200% in the first quarter. I mean, it's kind of this 9-year-old company, right? That's an overnight success. I'm curious what that first quarter was like for you guys, and how, I guess, either it did or it didn't make you think about the trajectory of your market opportunity, any differently than you had in the run up to that kind of crazy period.
Yeah, look, the first quarter for sure there was some cyclical changes in the industry. We've been looking at and sort of gearing up for this more secular change, right? So you think about what's happened pre-pandemic, right? You think about zero commission. You think about the fact that, we've been in this great bull market for, let's call it now 9-10 years. You think about the fact that we're allowing people to start their investing lives with $100 into an account. This trend is just going to continue, right? And so for us, we've been sort of preparing for this for years, right? And we've had conviction around this democratization of investing, lowering the barriers to entry and allowing people to invest in their future. Right. And rather it be for something for people at high net worth or ultra high net worth folks, what about the rest? Let's just talk about the U.S. 1 out of every 2 people in the United States don't have an investment account. Right. And part of the reason for it is it's just been, historically been something for people that have a lot of money. And part of the mission, the purpose for Apex is to, on a B2B basis, lower all those barriers to entry and allow people to invest in their future.
So far, it's working well. A lot of more people are doing that, of course. It's my understanding you guys used to serve Robinhood as well. But as we know, Robinhood now clears its own trades. First of all, is there any risk that other clients will do that? But second of all, was that a bad idea? Do you think that was a bad decision that Robinhood made?
Yeah, so start by saying Vlad's still a good friend. We talk quite a bit. One thing I'd say is if he was sitting next to me, he would be the first to say that without Apex, Robinhood wouldn't exist today, right? So between the two of us, in terms of democratizing, in terms of changing this industry, I think we've made amazing strides to help, sort of again democratize investing. I think over the course of the last 2 years since he left, in a very public way, he's had challenges, and they're all related to sort of the plumbing, right? Or the vast majority are related to plumbing, right? Go back to January in terms of infamously him having to raise $3 billion in a weekend. It's all because of pipes and plumbing, as you said. It's about the sort of back end and how to get collateral management, how to get treasury functions, how to do the things behind the scenes to sort of comply with all the rules and regulations in our industry. It's tough sledding, right? And so the synergy or the symbiotic relationship between, let's just say, a Webull or a SoFi or a Stash or a Goldman Sachs Marcus, who's a client of Apex, and us is that they focus on the great client experience, this amazing front end experience that's on a phone. And our job is behind the scenes, make all those things happen in a seamless, kind of dynamic and secure way.
Well, and maybe to your point, what happened with Robinhood earlier this year is more of a cautionary tale for some of the other clients. Bill, really interesting to get your perspective this morning. Hope you can join us again. Bill Capuzzi is Apex Fintech Solutions CEO.